I couldn't hear you. It was weird. There was so much excitement. I could only hear bits and pieces. It's really funny. Anyways, finish your story. So he was in shock, and he was the.
Actually, I've got a question from the chat room, if you don't mind. Why are they watching you? What's your history? Anything that you? Why would they be watching you and trying to? I don't know. That's from.
I think it's because I basically I'm a crude oil transporter. I go out into rural locations where there's not pipelines accessible, and I buy the crude oil from the storage tanks, and then I transport the oil to the pipeline. So I basically take $250,000 worth of equipment into some of the most outback, rugged, backcountry places that you could imagine that are out in the middle of basically nowhere, and that's where it was always. I was always out there loading crude oil when I seen them and stuff. So it might, maybe they were curious as to what the hell we're doing with the crude oil. Maybe that's what got their attention was they see me loading the oil and they wonder what I was doing with it. I don't know. That's the only thing I can figure. There's nothing particularly interesting about me that would make them want to find me otherwise. And I've never had a UFO encounter or alien encounter prior to this event that happened starting about 2009 and has continued since then. So, all I can do is speculate. It has something to do with the oil, I'm sure.
Ronnie, were you interested in UFOs before this? Like with the deer hunter, did you ever talk to him, or were you interested in that other?
I talked to, I kind of believe that there's life out there somewhere, but the great distance of space would keep us apart. I think that's the thing here. I've been trying to figure out a way to prove that they exist and that they're here to everyone. And most educated people will agree that it's very likely that there's life out there, but most educated people will also agree that there ain't no way they'll be able to get here because of the great distance of space. But now that I've seen them, I know they're here, and I'm working, trying to prove that they're here, and trying to think outside the box too, on how to prove this. And that was part of what the laser test was my way of thinking outside the box to prove that this ain't just lights at night. This is some kind of alien propulsion system causing the fabric of space itself to bend.
Why do you think the laser didn't detect it?
I'm not sure. Unless it, and I encourage other people to do the same test again and see if they get different results. Maybe the fact that the craft was hovering and not leaving. Maybe if I'd have been firing the laser at the point that it took off, then maybe I could have seen something. Why? I'm not. I'm not exactly sure. I was really disappointed that the laser didn't bend. I was. That was the whole point of the test, was to prove that. So it was bending the fabric of space around the craft, but that's not what I've seen so far. But I still ain't really ready to give up on the fact that it doesn't do that. And I believe the people who've seen the headlights bending towards these things. So I think it's just something that we have to continue to research, and hopefully somebody else could pull it off.
It makes me believe your story more, actually. Go ahead, Adam.
So essentially, you're playing a galactic wide version of laser tag with these aliens, right?
Yeah, basically. It's like, well, they're researching us, and they know we're researching them too. Now, and I wondered how they would feel about the laser test, and I was about to find out. I was about to find out how that would go, and when the story continues. You want me to go on with the story?
Yes. I'm glad they weren't mad about the laser test. Or you might not be here to tell us the story.
But they weren't real happy with it because about 2 nights later, it started occurring to me, maybe I actually drew them to me by shooting the laser, because I was shooting the laser around and we weren't seeing anything. So I was thinking perhaps the laser may even attract them. And I started putting the word out. Let's see if the laser does attract us. See if they have a degree of curiosity. And so I was out behind my house and I was firing the laser around to see if a craft would show up to test this theory. And so I was firing the laser around. Unfortunately, nothing showed up. So it was getting time to go to bed, and I had to work the next morning. And so I came back in the house with the laser, put it back in the gun cabinet, locked it up because my girlfriend brings her kids over sometimes, and I have a gun cabinet in there, and I have guns in there, so I'm good about locking the thing up. And so I put it back in his case. I locked it up, and I laid down to go to bed. And I mean, I had just laid down to go to bed. It was almost like they were waiting impatiently for me to lay down. And but that day, when I came home that day, I noticed there was a hole in my bathroom floor, and my cat was under the. I have a house cat that stays in the house, and my cat was missing. Big hole in my third bathroom floor in there. The cat's missing, and the cat's in the hole. He's a declawed cat. You know, it never occurred to me that he might not be able to chew a hole in the floor. I just assumed that he did it. And I wasn't real happy that he did it, but there was a big hole in the floor. The cat was under the house, and so I had to, I was hollering at him. I could hear him meowing underneath there, and I was sticking my arm down that hole like an idiot and feeling around and trying to get him to come to me. And then I shined the lights in the hole, and there was a set of eyes, very evil-looking eyes, looking up out of the hole at me. And, I'm not... And I was like, my God, I ain't sticking my hand in there again because, I don't know if that's the cat looking up at me or if that's something else down there looking up at me. And so I pulled my arm back in the house, and I kind of felt lucky to have an arm to pull back.
Ronnie, hold on a second. Ronnie.
Yeah.
So was the hole like a perfect circle, or was it like a board missing?
It was like it was chewed. I mean, it was like it was scratched, or it was like scratched out. And
okay.
And I don't see how
you were thinking animal.
A cat could make a hole. Well, it was particle board, so it's pretty easy to scratch a hole through it. But something scratched a hole through it, and my cat don't have any claws, so something clawed through there.
Holy moly!
But
so it was dark, and you could only see the eye shine.
I seen some eyes shining at me, and I don't know. It was very scary looking, and I don't know if it was the cat looking at me. But when I was reaching under there calling him, he didn't. I could hear him, but he didn't sound like he was anywhere near. And normally this is the kind of cat he'd come to you if you called him.
Yeah.
And I could hear him yowling up underneath there. And when I shined the light in the hole, there was some eyes looking back up at me, some scary looking eyes. And so I went outside and I seen where the access panel was kind of pulled out. And I retrieved the cat from the access panel, put him back in, and I put the cat back in the house, and I got a piece of heavy tin and bolted over the hole, and then I was like, okay, it's time for bed now. So and I laid down.
Oh
just
man!
Just had went to bed.
12:47.
Go to sleep.
12:47. Everyone, just so you know, we have not had a break yet. So, can you remember that spot in the story?
Oh, heck yeah.
So you just laid down to sleep. And
I had just
and
laid
there's a
down,
monster under your house. Or an alien. Or a cat or something.
Wow. Okay.
And it gets a lot weirder.
Yeah. Tom, are you still with us?
Ronnie, this is the greatest story ever.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going with this story. Tom, are you still with us?
I'm not only with you, I'm almost about to write a song with this story.
Great. Okay. I'm gonna play one of Tom's songs so you guys can hear what he's all about. This is the song that really got me, man. This is Piggy Boy by the Mary Janes, and this is Rock and Roll with the Wolfman on the Monster Castle Radio. All right, roll this thing.
When I was a boy, my family bought a pig. He wasn't very smart. He wasn't very big. But we loved that pig, raised that pig, took care of that pig, danced around with that pig, drank beer with that pig, went to school with that pig. I had a bath with that pig, sometimes I slept with that pig. Well, he was a piggy, just like no other. My old elephant, that pig was like my brother, Piggy Boy. Oh, Piggy Boy. Yeah, Piggy Boy.
Can you hear me?
A piggy boy.
Yeah, all right. That was great, Tom. I don't know. What did you guys think?
He's really good.
That guitar,
I love the guitar, yeah.
amazing. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
good.
So clean sounding, eh? Like,
Oh, so good.
I thought you guys would like this.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, well, and he's got a lot more good ones, but they definitely needed to get brought to the attention of the world. All right, if we can do it, we'll do it. We'll do what we can. But we're gonna come back and ask questions with Tom later because he was in the Air Force, and I believe you kind of got famous there, didn't you, a bit?
Well, locally famous.
Yeah, like,
I did what I could.
But, and there's some other things that we're going to discuss, and he's got a song about the Georgia Guidestones that I really want to hear. We're
So
going to
that's-
pull that up
How
next.
long are we going to keep Ronnie, and when are we going to bring on Tom?
Actually,
When are we
no,
gonna
we're keeping them both for the show, but I just want Ronnie to finish his story, and then we can
Oh.
interview Tom.
Yeah, we need to finish Ronnie's story.
Yep.
He's going to
Yeah.
bed with the monsters under his.
Yeah,
his
we gotta
house.
finish. We gotta finish this story. Sure. Where were we? Go ahead, Ronnie.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, so I just laid down, and I got the house secure and everything, and I'd laid down in bed, and I had just laid down in bed, and like I said, I leave enough lights on my house that I can. If I need to get up and go to the icebox, I could see, so I leave a light on at the computer, and I sleep with my head away from the bathroom and the bedroom, and I leave a light on in the bathroom so I can get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and then come back and see where I'm going without falling over stuff. So I leave lights on in my house, or enough lights on that I can see to move around. And I just laid down in that bed, nowhere near even going to sleep yet. Had basically just feet had just laid down in the bed. And I heard something in the kitchen moving around, and I thought, oh, the cat is getting up there in the sink or something. And I'm like, dadgum cat, and he's been a pain in my ass today. And I was fixing to get out of bed, and I looked over at the doorway, and there's the cat. There's the cat standing there in the doorway, and the cat's looking very concerned towards the kitchen. And then I heard some more noise from the kitchen, and I realized that, it is not the cat making the noise in the kitchen. And
have an intruder.
So my next thought goes to, see, I live here in Ranger, Texas, I live under a bunch of pecan trees, and it's pretty and shady, and pecans everywhere, and limbs everywhere, and sap everywhere. And it's really beautiful, but it's a real pain in the ass sometimes. And I have squirrels real bad, and they get in my attic, and I have a drop down ceiling, and twice squirrels have gotten into the attic, and then they fell through the drop down ceiling, and I ended up having go on a big squirrel chase. And I use a trout net and a pair of leather welding gloves, and I grab these suckers and I put them in a cat cage or something until I can haul them out in the country and let them go. And so I'm thinking, oh great, now I get to go on a squirrel chase. So I try to get out of bed, and then I realize I can't get out of bed. It's like I don't feel any force holding me in bed, but whenever I try to get up, all of a sudden this force is holding me in place. And the harder you fight it, the more it hurts. And then it eventually, if you fight it hard enough, it affects your breathing and heart. It's like if you kept fighting it hard enough, you could have a heart attack. And I realized that something had me. I could not get out of this daggone bed, and I couldn't believe it, because whenever I laid back in bed, everything, it would just stop. You couldn't feel anything holding you in place. But yet, when you tried to move, all of a sudden this force just hit you. It was like somebody put 600 pounds of bricks on you. And I realized this is not good. This is not normal. And the cat, the noise continues, and then the cat runs into the bedroom and jumps in the bed with me. And something knocks the lamp over at the computer. I can't see it, but I can hear the lamp fall over and break. And so I know now that it went from the kitchen into the living room, which is right next to my bedroom. And I'm looking over from where I'm laying. I can look through the opening of my doorway, and I see this lightning fast brown streak goes by. I mean, I've never seen any. You can't imagine anything moving this fast. You know, I've been a hunter and a trapper, and I've seen some of the fastest animals out there, but I have never seen anything moving like this thing was. It's just all you can see is a blur. Is just going past the doors, and then it goes back, and it's opening. Whatever it is opening drawers, and you can hear it physically opening drawers and shuffling through them, and it's knocking stuff over and it's breaking stuff. And so basically something is ransacking the house, and it's not just one of them. There's two of them. I know there's two of them, two distinct. And then I seen one, it run up on the vertical wall and run down the wall. And I thought, that is not a freaking squirrel. And I'm still trapped in bed, and I'm watching this thing ransack my house.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie. So was
Yes.
your head, were you able to look around, or were you pinned?
No, I
Did
could
you
move
see
my
them?
head. I could make subtle motions. And so I was able to turn my head ever so gently, and I could clearly look out of the door, but I could not get out of the bed. It was like they had me trapped in bed. And I seen this thing jetting back and forth and opening doors and shuffling stuff around and breaking stuff. And then I seen another one running around. And then it was almost like they started chasing each other, like they were having a jolly old time. It was like it was two brown streaks chasing one another, and they were running up on the side of the wall. And it was like they were having a hell of a good time. And
Well, something's outside my window again, guys.
it is freaky. It was freaky.
Wow.
It was scary, but at the same time, it was like I'm clinging to the hope that it's a squirrel, but I know it's not. Squirrels don't run up vertical walls. Squirrels don't move that fast, and squirrels don't paralyze you in bed. And eventually, a third figure comes onto this scene. And I mean, these things, they run on all fours, and they run so fast that you can't see them. And then when they stop, this thing's running in front of my door. There's a brown streak right in front, right in the middle of my doorway. It stopped. And then it stood up on two legs, and I could see now this thing is only about 18 inches tall, but it is definitely not a squirrel. It has a face like an old man, real tight eyes, real tight lips, and it almost has it has a light armor on it or an exoskeleton, and it's standing right in my doorway, and I'm going, oh, shit. This is not good. I'm pinned in bed. There's this damn thing standing in the doorway, but it's looking at the other two, and it's almost like the other two stopped playing chase and started looking through drawers again, like maybe they were supposed to be. And it was almost like the senior one. And then he looked at the other two, and all of a sudden they started doing what they were supposed to do, opening the doors and stuff like that, searching the house instead of running around playing chase. And then the next thing, I'm thinking, I hope this sucker doesn't come in my bedroom. Now I'm hoping by some miracle that they just stay the hell out of here. And he looked back at the other two, and then all three of them run underneath my bed. Now they're underneath my damn bed, and I mean, I just seen three streaks run into my room, and I knew that they run right straight underneath my bed. So I'm laying in this bed, and these damn things are underneath it. And the next thing I know, they start bouncing the freaking bed completely off the floor. My body is completely leaving the mattress. They're bouncing the bed so freaking hard, man.
Are you kidding? Oh my God.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on.
So I
a
still
second.
can't
Slow
move.
down.
I still can't move, and I'm
slow
paralyzed like a son of a bitch. And I'm like popcorn bouncing off a hot skillet. It's just bouncing me off the freaking bed. And
Ronnie.
it stops
Hold on.
bouncing.
Just Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie. Okay, hold on. Just slow down a little bit. Where was the cat?
The cat, when the bed started bouncing, the cat hauled ass. And I was wishing I
Okay.
could go with him. And I was
Do you
like, well,
think they
hell, I'm
were-
paralyzed, but
do
the
you
cat's not, because as soon as they started bouncing the bed, the cat took off out of there like his ass was on fire. And I didn't see anything chasing him. And,
So
I'm trapped in there with these
18-inch
damn
creatures
things.
were under your bed, popping it up and
Bouncing.
down.
Yeah, bouncing the shit out of my bed. So these, whatever they are, not only are they fast, they're strong.
But didn't you
for sure.
think of get a bat and smack him a bit?
What'd you do?
But yeah, I'm laying there. I still can't move. And so the bed stops bouncing, and then I hear the damn things ripping into. I could hear them tearing into the box springs underneath me, and then it got scary as hell because I could feel them clawing the bed underneath me. Well, the box springs underneath there, it's got this metal wiring on top. It's just a box basically, and it's got some metal wiring on top of it. And it's like they were trying to claw through that metal wiring.
Did you take a look afterward?
Come through the mattress and get me, but they couldn't get through the damn the metal of the box spring.
Did you take a look afterwards at the claw marks down there, or did you find evidence?
I looked up in there, and it was kind of scary to look up in there, but they had ripped and this was a pretty new mattress and box springs, and they had ripped the bottom of the box springs open. You could see scratch marks on the wood up inside of it, like they were trying to get through they were going to dig through the mattress and probably tear my ass out from the back. I don't know. But it scared the living hell out of me. I thought, oh shit, I'm paralyzed in this damn bed, and they're fixing to claw right into my back. And I was just waiting for the claws to hit my back. At that point, you couldn't do anything.
What the hell?
I was just waiting to heal. I was waiting to feel the claws on my back, and finally I thought, well, I'm gonna freaking die here, and I have to do something. And I'm pretty good and pissed off at this point. They bounced the hell out of me. They pissed me off, and I'm like, I don't give a shit if I die. I'm gonna kill these son of bitches. I'm gonna get out of this damn bed. And I have a golf bag over in the corner, and I'm gonna grab a club out there now, and I'm going to go to town on these. And I told myself that. And when I used every ounce of force that I had to try to get out of that bed and grab that club and bash these damn things, and I couldn't do anything. And I was going to yell at them. I was going to get out of here, you son of a bitches, and nothing came out of my mouth. I didn't jump out of bed. I just laid there in a freaking bed, paralyzed like a son of a bitch, and I was like, well, hell, I guess I'm going to freaking die here. I can't do anything. But I tried so hard. It was like I almost had a damn heart attack. I mean, I couldn't breathe. It was like my damn heart almost stopped. I was fighting the force so hard that it hurt. I mean, it physically hurt. And then these things, they stopped digging. I was thinking, thank God they stopped digging. And then I heard them over in the gun cabinet over there where the laser was. And I thought it's locked up, but then I could hear them shuffling through it, and I thought, well, hell, they got right in there even though it was locked. And the next thing you know, the noise stopped, and I'm thinking, thank God, And then all of a sudden, I jumped out of bed and I yelled, "Get out of here, you son of bitches!" And I grabbed the golf club. And several minutes had passed by, and it was like I had tried to do this, and then nothing happened. And now all of a sudden, it's like my body's acting like a robot without me telling it to, because I already give up on the idea of being able to do that. It was like I sent a signal to my brain, and it was like they had an EMP that interrupted the signal that was sent to my mind, between my mind and my body. Because all of a sudden, I just jumped out of that freaking bed and cussed, and I grabbed that club, and it scared the hell out of me, because so many minutes had passed by since I had tried to do that. It was like my body was acting on its own. But at the same time, I was pissed off. All of a sudden, I was finally out of the damn bed, and I had a golf club in my hand. So I'm like, I went on the hunt,
That's
I looked at all the dark
hear.
corners of my house, and I went looking for these son of bitches, and I was going to bash their brains in if I found them. And I looked all through the house, and
Bash 'em.
every drawer and cabinet, and the whole damn house was open.
Smash
Every damn
heads
drawer
open.
and cabinet was wide open, and
Fuck
not
yeah.
a sign of them anywhere.
Smash them. Yeah.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
So do you think that they were the same creatures that were in the ship?
No, I don't think so. These are little bitty guys. I mean, and I've never seen these guys. Now, later on, when I go into the rest of my story, now I've seen some creatures, but not these little guys. These little guys, I don't know. They seem like subservience, like they were on a recon team. They were being controlled by something else that had sent them over here.
No, see, Ronnie's going to be back on the 17th, and I think I'm going to have him back because he's got such a long story.
Yeah.
I would like to also. I'd like to book
the
you
greatest story
if I
ever.
could, Ronnie,
That's
for February 3rd is open. If you want to come back February 3rd too, and also on the 17th. So you're gonna have 2 dates coming up to finish your story. He's got pictures of aliens in infrared. He's got an object. You should post a picture of that object, Ronnie. Of that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've got some amazing pictures.
Post
that
it on
happened-
hashtag
yeah.
47talk. Post that picture with that silver kind of basketball-sized strange object that was dropped from the UFO near your friend's house. This is freaky looking, and
Man, Ronnie,
also,
this is
it's not even started, Darren. This
incredible.
we're just getting warmed up. He's got a buddy that is an acquaintance of Willie Nelson, who talked, and he's going to call in too. And this guy, Willie Nelson, talked to President Carter. You want to finish this one, Ronnie?
Yeah, sure. It's Jim Marlin, and he was. We thought he was going to be on here tonight, but we hadn't seen him. And Jim Marlin, yeah, he was a road manager and a producer, for Willie Nelson, and him and Jimmy Carter had made the mistake of giving Willie Nelson his phone number. I mean, his personal phone number. And they were hanging around after a show one night, drinking and talking aliens, and Willie Nelson says, "Well, let's just call his number and we'll just ask him." And so Willie Nelson breaks out his phone and he calls Jimmy Carter at 2 a.m. in the morning. And guess who answers the phone? Jimmy Carter, 2 a.m. in the morning. President of the United States answers the phone. And Willie Nelson says, we're sitting here and we're talking aliens and stuff. And said, I had your number. He said, I just wanted to ask you straight out, are aliens, is there really UFOs? Are aliens real? And Jimmy Carter told him, he said, yeah, there is. There is aliens. There is UFOs. And he said, they won't let me say a damn thing about it. And it was like he was pissed off that they wouldn't let him talk about it. They had told him not to say a damn thing about it. And so, and he was sitting right there when all this went on,
Oh my God.
But that's Jim's story. Jim's got some great stories.
That's incredible.
And Jim Marlin, he's going to be on here too. So, and he's got, man, you got to hear this guy's stories. I mean, I don't even want to ruin it for you, but yeah, you think my story's amazing. I think Jim's is way more amazing than mine.
And you've also had an encounter with Bigfoot, because I know that you were in the chat room when the Res Squatching team was on the show. And you had a hunting encounter with Bigfoot. Yeah,
we were trappers. We used to trap over here in this country, and we happened on this sucker while we were trapping. We were wondering why we weren't being able to trap anything. Our traps were always thrown, and the bait was always missing. And finally, we happened on to this damn thing, and it wasn't happy to see us. It wasn't happy to see us, man. It was a pretty scary deal. I mean, this sucker was fixing to kill our ass. And
Wolfman.
Yeah.
There's so many stories here with Ronnie.
I know. That's why I'm booking him up with two shows. This is just a preliminary little taste tonight.
Oh my God!
And yeah.
Can we finish? What happened with the three little dudes? Can we finish that one at least?
Yeah.
Did they leave the house?
I searched my house, and the tin was pried. That tin that I just put down in the floor to keep my cat from getting out was pried up. So it was like they entered my house through the hole. They exited through the hole. And I'm not so sure that they didn't make the damn hole.
And so once they released you, they skedaddled, basically.
Yeah, they left. And I hadn't seen them since, thank God. But
have you ever done a picture or how would you describe how they looked?
Well, like I said, they almost. From the way that they moved, they were so fast. They moved on. I know they were traveling on four legs. They stood on two. Their face was either like a humanoid or it could have been a reptilian even. But I think it's probably more like an insectoid. I don't know. It was hard to say. I've never seen it. I think it had an exoskeleton on it. It wasn't. It looked like a battle armor. It almost looked like it was wearing a battle armor.
Were all three different looking?
The only one that I got a good good look at was the one that stopped in the doorway. The other ones, they were always moving so fast that all you could see was a brown streak. And it was almost like you would think it was a ghost or something because, when they moved, all you could see was a brown streak. But when they stopped, it was like they just materialized. It was like when they stopped, it was on a dime. When they took off, it was instant. It was being from solid to blur. And
it's almost like they were going through time as they were moving.
You know, I talked to a guy. He said he told me that he thought that these little things are from like a planet that has an incredible gravity. And he said these little things are built like that. He said our gravity to these things are it's like us on the moon. You know, I mean, they're fast on their home planet, but here they're just like lightning bolts shooting around the place. You know. And the next day I went up underneath my house because I can't live here without knowing, you know, that there's nothing up underneath my house. And I had my friend come over and I got a flashlight and a gun and I went on a hunt up underneath my house to make sure these damn things weren't nested up underneath there. Hell, I had to do that to live in peace here, you know. And so I crawled up underneath the house and checked the hole out, looked around, and recently I had thrown a big bag of mothballs underneath there, and the bag was torn to shreds, and there wasn't a mothball anywhere.
No, wait a minute now. Have you ever smelled mothballs?
Oh yeah.
Well, wait a minute. How do you get their little legs apart?
That's a good question.
Got ya.
Ronnie,
you dirty boy.
Were you able to sleep that night?
No. It was almost impossible to go back to sleep. And the bad thing is you can't tell anybody. You know, I couldn't tell anybody this shit because nobody would believe. It's too crazy for anyone to believe. You know, and for years I didn't tell anyone. You know, I wrote a book recently called Ronnie Dawson UFO Story. It's available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and I put it in the book. So I've just started telling people, and you know, I tried to tell the MUFON investigator at one point, and even the MUFON investigator just kind of rolled their eyes like, "This is too far out." And
it is. So, it's way out there.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to believe it? You know, you experience that stuff, and nobody can believe it. Nobody's going to believe it.
I believe everything you said, and I believe my preacher too.
It's awesome, Ronnie. It's a great story. Oh my God.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, after some of the shit I've seen and been told about, it actually doesn't really surprise me.
No. Have you been on any other shows?
I did Beyond Reality Radio, the 29th. I've been on the UFO Buster Radio. So I've done a few shows. I've been busy writing a book, and like I said, my story's been making the news everywhere but the U.S. It's like the U.S. is like, I don't know. It's like even the local news hasn't covered my story. Japanese TV was at my house in September, and they filmed an episode of Caught on Tape that aired over in Japan. So the Japanese have come all the way over to the United States, and they brought a film crew from L.A. to my home here in Ranger to put it on their series. But here in the United States, nobody knows who I am. There's nobody knows anything about me here.
Do you still have the box spring that they scratched at?
No, I got rid of that damn thing. That's one of the first things I did, man.
Did you take pictures?
I wasn't so sure that they didn't stuff something inside the mattress, you know, that they didn't tear out some of the mattress and put something in there. And I really wanted to some poor soul here in town's probably got it at his house, man. I wanted that damn thing.
What about
out
the
of here.
hole? Do you have a picture of the hole that was ripped open?
No, I didn't take a picture of the hole. Like I said, I stuck my head up in there and looked around, and I was surprised at how basic a box spring is. There's nothing to them really. It's just a wood frame with a piece of metal over the top of it, you know.
Damn, and, you know, you'd think you would have took. Darren loves taking pictures of holes. I don't get it.
I love spires and holes both.
Holy moly!
Dead air. So, do you have any pictures of the hole that they dug in the bathroom where the cat went through?
Yeah, you could you could go to my YouTube channel, and I just went up underneath the house. I had to fix a water leak, and while I was up underneath there, this is the first time I've had enough courage, other than the day after when I went in there with the gun. It's like I used to go up underneath there all the time to make sure I didn't have leaks and stuff like that. It's not the same anymore. It's kind of scary to go up underneath there anymore.
I bet.
So I kind of forced myself to go up underneath there the other day, and I took a video while I was up underneath there because people had been asking me, they wanted to see it. So you can go to the Ronnie Dawson YouTube channel, and that video is there along with a lot of the other videos I've taken.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, get as much video as you can of all this stuff.
Oh yeah, a year later is when they approached me at my job. After that whole home invasion incident, a year later they blew me away. They came and approached me out at my job in the field over near Coleman, Texas, and I caught some video and I've caught some footage, and that's a lot of the stuff I've been sharing is from that.
I just put.
Do you think they could have been
Twitter?
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Could have been gnomes.
They could be anything they want to be, as long as they stay the hell out.
Do you think they would have kicked your butt? The 18. Do you think you could have killed them, or do you think they would have killed you?
As stout as they were and as fast as they were, I think these things could hit you so fast and dig your heart out of your chest probably before you could have the strength to pull them off. I mean, they're very small, but they are. Because of their speed and their strength, I think they would be deadly. I think they would be very deadly if you actually got into a confrontation with these things.
So if they wanted you dead, you'd be gone.
Oh,
they were.
Yeah, but they definitely had a degree of malevolence about them because they were bouncing my ass in that bed for no other reason than to terrify me. You know, there was no reason for them doing that other than just to scare the living hell out of me. And like I said, once they found the laser that I had fired at the craft, it's almost like they wanted to investigate it or whatever. And as soon as they got to the point where the laser was kept, they left. You know, so I think that was probably the whole purpose of their little visit. You know.
So they didn't take the laser; they just looked at it and then they left.
No, yeah, I really thought after I came back in there, I came back in the bedroom and not being able to find them, and I looked over at the gun case, and the gun case is wide open, and then I thought, you dumbass, I had a shotgun in there. A loaded shotgun. I was like, hell, I could have been walking around this house with a shotgun instead of this damn golf club. And I thought, damn. And then I thought, oh shit, they've taken the laser. And I went over there and looked around, looked in the case, and there was the laser. The laser's still there. So they didn't take it. Now they may have examined it and left it, but or maybe they just never found it. I don't know. But it was still there, luckily.
This whole story to us is almost comical, but to you, it was definitely frightening, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was frightening and but I'm one of those guys, when I get scared, I get mad. I was mad,
yeah.
I was pissed.
Fight or flight.
I was ready to kill something, you know. It was like, how dare you come in my house and do that to me, man? You know, I'll kill your ass for less than that.
Right.
You know, I'm the guy here in town. I'm crazy. I have guns. Nobody would try that shit. You know, none of the locals around here would try that shit.
How long did it take you to get over it, or are you over it?
You know, I have to live here. I don't really have an option of moving out of the place. You know, my wife lives here now, and my kids live here now, and I'm grateful that they haven't seen anything like that, or they would be making me move. You know, so you know, I still live here. You know, sometimes I feel like this whole damn thing is like maybe I'm a test subject for disclosure. You know, they've showed me that they're here. They showed me they exist, and they're just watching to see what I do. See if I live in a cave, if I quit my job, if I go crazy. You know, but hey, I still have to work for a living. You know, if I don't pay the electric bill, they still shut off my electricity. You know, and It ain't like you can stop living because this shit happened to you. You have to get over it and move on. You know.
What's your wife think?
They didn't kill me. They could have. They didn't. So I think it has to be a good sign, I guess.
Does your wife believe the whole story?
Yeah, to some degree, but she's never really seen anything like I have. You know, she's she knows that I'm sincere about what I say, and I'm not a liar or nothing like that. I don't make that shit up. And I've told people, said, man, I'll tell you what, I'll take a Bible and I'll stand on my grandmother's grave and I'll swear that my whole story is the truth. And, whatever it takes for people to believe me, I'll do it. I ain't afraid. And for a Texas man to tell you that, that's serious business.
Sure.
Well, I can tell
Absolutely.
just the way he's talking and the excitement in
I
his
know, me
voice,
too.
and he's like, he's got to get this out. And why? I don't know. I heard other people say, why would he make it up? Well, people do make up stories and that, but I'm a pretty good judge of character. As a matter of fact, his video's on, and I'm watching him talk on the screen as he's talking, and that man is telling the truth. As far as I'm a little bit psychic too, and I swear he's telling the truth. So I don't know if you're going to get better disclosure than Ronnie and what's your friend's name again?
Alan Ostersteel.
Or
The sad thing is, my friend that helped me 6 months after we made a UFO video here at my home, and 1 minute and 33 seconds into that damn video, there was like an anomaly, a ghost-like anomaly appears over my left shoulder, and you can go to YouTube and look at the Man Escapes Alien Abduction video, 130, I think 131 into that video. Look on my left shoulder. It's almost like the ET are using some kind of stealth to spy on me, and these guys appeared during the video, and it's like they're still watching my ass. And here I'll post a picture. I'll post a picture to the chat room right now of some of the still frames of that footage. And my friend that recorded that video, he's my best friend, Alan Ostersteel. 6 months after making that UFO video where this thing appeared, we found him mysteriously dead in his home.
Oh,
and I was wondering if those little guys didn't come and mess with him. And during the process of it all, he had a heart attack and died.
Your best friend was found dead?
Yeah.
What was the cause of death?
Watching the UFO with. He was found dead in his home at the same place where we shined the laser at the UFO.
My God. Okay, we're gonna take a break here. We're halfway through, and wow, man, this is heavy duty. And when we come back, I think we're gonna